Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic.
We have a traffic accident right now. Watch for a slowdown northbound on I-135. It's in that North Junction Road construction area. It's just north of 29th Street North. Traffic update from 98.7 and 1330 KNSS in the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center. I'm Chad Chambers.
Weather.
Isolated showers and storms this morning will become more numerous this afternoon and this evening. Also cooler today with a high of 79. Numerous showers and storms tonight. Things will be winding down come Tuesday morning. Overnight low 54. Becoming partly cloudy on Tuesday. Much cooler, high 66. Partly cloudy and 73 on Wednesday. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Go! Tell your smart speaker to play 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily, coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Generally, Thursday Night Football is pretty whack. I know that's not exactly breaking news, but last night's Niner-Rams tilt was awesome. What a tremendous gritty win for the Niners, and what a terrible loss for the Rams. LA simply cannot lose that game. A critical game in division against a busted-up, bitter rival that you're a huge favorite against when you've already let one slip away against Philadelphia. That absolutely was a must-win for the Rams. And once again, they failed to finish. They did not execute, and nor did their fans as Niner Nation took over SoFi and made it their house. As for Rams head coach Sean McVay, going for it on 4th and 1 in OT was the right decision. He just went with the wrong play call. I love Kyron Williams, but he picked a bad night to have a bad night. Again, an incredible win by the Niners and a terrible loss by the Rams. And yes, it can be both those things. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. Football season is heating up on Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROME and get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Now from Wichita's to Sports Radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Well, hey there. Welcome in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland with you on a Monday morning. Glad to be with you on a Monday morning. It is a reaction Monday, a Chiefs-less reaction Monday, because the Chiefs play tonight on Monday Night Football. We'll get you all ready for that as we make our way through the show. We've got a recap, a full weekend of college football as well. Major League Baseball playoffs are in full swing. It's all coming for you. What's on tap? Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, featuring Oztoberfest, the deeply copper-colored German-style lager that'll make you click your heels, grab your stein, and follow the copper brick road to the land of Oztoberfest. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. Glad to be with you here. TJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Let me tell you, it's a good weekend that we're living in the 21st century to be able to watch football games on your phone as you travel around, because we were busy traveling all weekend long. Ended up, we were in Colorado. We hiked yesterday for like 2.5 hours. So getting out of bed this morning, freaking hurt. Everything hurts, but we're here. We're overcoming the adversity, and we're going to react to some football.
We're going to react to some football. We're going to react to some college football. We got Max Power in studio, standing by, taking your calls at 869-1240. Early this morning, we've got our comments available on Facebook, YouTube, and X if you're watching us right now on our video stream. And we've also got you on 12 News Connected. We appreciate everybody tuning in that way as well. It was an interesting day in the NFL, TJ. Upside down once again. You think you have a grasp of this thing, and then the NFL comes and they gives you an Eagles loss and a Bills loss, so nobody's undefeated anymore. We'll take a restock of things after those two outcomes last night as the Bills fall to the Patriots in a game, which, we kind of talked about that one a little bit as a potential trouble spot maybe. 23-20, the Patriots take it. The Eagles lose to the Broncos. Had a chance late in the game. The Eagles seem, I don't want to say dysfunctional, but the Broncos take them down 21-17. I guess as disturbed as an elite team can be, something seems and has seemed off just a little bit with them. So we can get into that as well. Mark Sanchez was stabbed over the weekend in a wild story, but he was arrested after apparently getting in a fight with an old man. Like, what in the world is going on there? It was a wild weekend. And then of course the college football we had this weekend as we get another split outcome. We just can't get them. We can't get KU and K-State on the same page here, TJ. We need them to both win one of these weekends, but we do not get that over the weekend. Instead, we get we get a split outcome again, and that's what we've been dealing with here. I'm ready for them both to do the deed, to do what they're supposed to do. K-State falls in a heartbreaker to Baylor. Another game you feel like they probably should have won. A late mistake by Avery Johnson really cost him, and Kansas looks good and gets it done against UCF. But the Big 12 continues to show us that it's going to be tough to predict this year.
Yeah, that K-State game was nuts. I got to catch basically the entirety of that game, and I mean it was 14-point lead in the fourth quarter or whatever, late in the second half at least. And you see the pick six, and then they go for two, and then we just kept looking at each other as like, this isn't going to be good. Like something's happening. This is not going to be good.
Had that
sure
feeling.
Enough, the hex from Dublin continues on. Something's wrong with the team. But Baylor's offense is also just incredible. I think that there's a little bit of both sides here. We'll dig into that, I'm sure, a ton.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about it. Wyatt Thompson, by the way, programming note. Well, he's going to move to Tuesdays to give us a little more wiggle room on these reactions. So we'll have Wyatt Thompson's take on it tomorrow. Look, I think K-State looked fine. I think they should have won the game. They were in control.
Avery played well outside of a pick six in the fourth quarter.
Correct. Right. Yeah. He's running it effectively again. Dylan Edwards kind of looked a little banged up. So I don't think we got a full dose of Dylan Edwards. But Avery was great outside of that play. And so, boy, that's a dagger. It's a dagger in this league on the road. You can't make that mistake. And they made that mistake. And now, what does it mean? What do we take away from it? I don't think Baylor's a team that's like marching through the rest of their schedule. I think K-State is much closer to what we thought now than what it was 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So it's annoying. It sucks. It hurts your Big 12 chances. Yes. But I do also think K-State and the K-State we saw against Army and North Dakota is not the same K-State. Not even close.
Yeah, I agree. I that's what my kind of takeaway was. That in those bad games against Army and North Dakota, it was like the offense didn't work. The defense couldn't get off the field. This one, it was the defense kind of couldn't get off the field late, but the offense played pretty well. Like, I don't know if you take that trade-off. Obviously, you want to win, but the things that were supposed to be good are becoming good. So there is positives to take away from this. And the fact of the matter is, I think that if this was the good K-State team, the one that was the preseason Big 12 favorites, I mean, that was going to be a tough spot either way, going to Waco against Sawyer Robertson in that offense. I mean, the total, what was it, like in the 60s, wasn't it? It was
61.
ginormous. Yeah.
61, and they cleared it pretty easily, honestly, even with a little bit of a slower start to the game. So, we'll dig into that. Kansas gets the win 27-20, a more efficient type game, I guess, for Kansas. Kind of an interesting game for them, but they win it 27-20. A really, really nice bounce back performance for them defensively, especially early in that game, as all anybody heard was how terrible they are defensively. Bengali Kamara was all over the place early in the game, and they just sort of, they needed that one. They needed that one. I think more than anything, just a reminder that, look, we get it. The defensive performance the week before was not okay. But we're not that bad defensively. And so they had a nice bounce back, and they flip-flopped. We felt like Kansas should have won their game a week ago, and they let one slip away, just like Kansas State. And this week, Kansas looks good on the road. A 7-point win over UCF. Like, that's a good win. Kansas should feel good about that one.
It's true. UCF, isn't going to be a slouch. They're 3-0, for a reason. They just had back-to-back tough games against the Kansas schools, but I expect them to kind of, probably not be a top half, but they're going to, put some teams in some tough spots and everything of that nature. So, kind of one of the biggest things that I took away from that one as well, from what I got to catch, is, the fact that we just watched that Cincinnati game and we're like, KU can't hand the ball off. Like, their running game is like, it's Jalen Daniels, and that's basically it, is what we saw against Cincinnati last week. So to see Le'Shawn Williams with 3-touchdown game, granted only 58 yards of offense, but the amount of trust in the red zone for a team that has sputtered in the red zone, they fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line a week ago, that having that guy back there that, he's a big body guy, he's a lot like Daniel Highshaw, that can just go bang around in the trenches and pop out for a touchdown. So it was a big win for KU. I'm pretty happy about that win.
Yeah, look, they ran it as much as they needed to, for sure. I think here's the interesting. Like, if you look at the Big 12 right now, there are 4 teams that remain unbeaten, and Iowa State lost to Cincinnati. If you missed that one over the weekend, I think that what you can take away is it looks like there are 3 bad teams in the Big 12, and then everybody else is fine. Everybody else can kind of beat each other if they were to play. And that's going to make it nuts. It's going to make it nutty. It's why I've said forever I kind of like the idea of Big 12 getting 2 automatic bids, because it's going to be really hard for this league, the way it is, just to ever get more than one. They're going to beat each other up too much. We'll see. We'll discuss that. We'll get you ready for Chiefs Monday Night Football. A lot to get to here on a Monday. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fired up here. It's all Brockton, Cleveland. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story, Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily here on KFH. Glad to be with you on a Monday, a reaction Monday, NFL Monday Night Football on KFH tonight. Tune into 97.5 and 1240 KFH 6. Chiefs on the road facing Jacksonville. Monday Night Football on KFH. Listen online at kfhradio.com or download the free Odyssey app and search for KFH. TJ, let's go to the Chiefs. We'll get to college football as we make our way through the show. We have Josh Brisco coming in the next hour as well. But it is interesting tonight as we get ready for it. Xavier Worthy, I don't know if you saw this. Xavier Worthy goes on the injury report yesterday. Apparently his ankle swelled up on him. We're not even real sure we knew that the ankle was a thing in this game. But the ankle has swelled up on him. So that's certainly something to watch. I still think this is a really nice opportunity for the Chiefs in this one against Jacksonville. They are favorites on the road. I kind of understand people being concerned about a trap here just because of the spot. It's on the road. It's in prime time. I just think that it's a favorable matchup for Kansas City. Going against a quarterback who's struggled a little bit this year. Jacksonville has a great run defense. The Chiefs haven't been an effective run team anyway. The Jags' pass defense is not nearly as good as its run defense. So it looks like a Chiefs, throw the ball kind of a game. And that is something with Worthy last week we saw them find a lot of success with.
Yeah, the Worthy thing adds the interesting wrinkle if he's going to be questionable for this game. I imagine he's probably going to play. The fact that this came up a day before the game, it's not a lingering thing or something of that nature, but I might be wrong about that. But as you're saying, I think that even if Xavier Worthy doesn't play, I think that this still is a good spot that the Chiefs could go out and win, strictly because of, Jacksonville's offensive struggles, with Trevor Lawrence and everything like that, and how good the Chiefs defense has been. I think that if you don't have Xavier Worthy, the one thing that will change in this game is probably if you took the over, because I don't think that the Chiefs will be able to put up a big number without Xavier Worthy if they run out the wide receiver core that they had for the first 3 weeks of the season. But as I said, if he plays, even if he plays a little banged up, I still think it's going to be a really good spot for the Chiefs.
It's really interesting. The Chiefs, like if Worthy didn't play, I don't think the line would move from 3.5.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think it would.
So it's like we know, because we saw it last week, how important he is to the offense and what he does for it collectively. But I think there were a lot of things. I think we may be overstating a little bit. I think the most important thing for this Chiefs offense has been the protection for Patrick Mahomes. If we're looking to the difference between last year and this year, it's that. And as that continues, the Chiefs are going to get more comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice is about to come back. So that's going to help, right? We get this is it without Rashee. No, they get 2 more without Rashee Rice. So it's about to get back to full strength. And I do think that will be different with Rice and Worthy and the cast of characters, because Kelsey has been a little less than at least what I anticipated. But at the same time, Tyquan Thornton's been way better. He gives them a deep threat. So if Worthy doesn't play, you're not even really, I don't even think that's the thing that they, that they're hoping for from Worthy, because Thornton's really good at that. It basically, what we saw last week, in my opinion, was it lessened like the Hollywood Brown Juju role. But those guys are still there. So if Worthy doesn't play, those guys are still there. Worthy's better. He's good. He's awesome. But even if he's a little bit limited because his ankle is swollen, I'm with you. It doesn't really change my outlook on this game. It is a matchup that favors the Chiefs because we know the Chiefs will need to throw the ball. That's not Jacksonville's thing. If Jacksonville were playing Philadelphia or, Baltimore, even if Baltimore was healthy, or one of these other teams, that's where the Jags can really, I think, make it tough on people, because they can keep you from being able to run the ball. The Chiefs haven't run the ball effectively in any game that they've played this year. So that doesn't really factor in for me. I still think they've got to try to, do that and establish it a little bit. But that's not the way the Chiefs are going to win games. That's not how they're going to use their run game anyway. So if you've got a pass defense that's not great, those are the matches that favor the Chiefs this year. And then, I'm sorry, offensively, the Jags just don't scare me at all. Trevor Lawrence isn't very good. And, they have been able to run the ball. And if you go look at the numbers, the Chiefs' run defense has not been the run defense it has been in some years. Like, that's a place they still need to improve. But I think we have faith in it, right? Because we know the players enough. I have faith in it. And this is probably going to come back and bite me in the rear. And I'm real confident in the Chiefs tonight. I think they're going to be good.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Basically, I think that the defense from the Chiefs just is the reason that I am so bullish about this game. I think so. As you're saying, the Chiefs will find ways to complicate things on offense a little bit. It feels like they've done that in the past. So I think that whatever the Jags would throw at them, I think that, we could see some sputters, and I don't think anybody would be surprised by that. But I think if the Jags come out and the Jags put on 28 points on the Chiefs, then I think we'd be like, what happened to the secondary? What happened
Absolutely.
to the defense?
Yes.
So I think that's why I'm so bullish, and that's why I think this spot is so good for them. Unless the only thing that would shock anybody, I think, is if Trevor Lawrence came out and just had the career 400-yard game, like one of those.
Now, all that being said, it has not worked for them well, but Jacksonville does have Brian Thomas Jr., who's a great rookie last year. Travis Hunter continues to learn how to, be a football player. They have some weapons that can scare you. They just haven't done a good job with them thus far. Mm-hmm. We look at the game, and I do think it's a big spot. That's why I don't really like the over in this one. I'm probably staying away from that. I don't think I'm messing with the over under. I like the Chiefs on the line. We got to watch Worthy. I loved Worthy's yardage prop coming into it. Now I'm not so sure. So now I don't really know what to do with the yardage props, because we're not going to know with Worthy for a while how to handle it. So that's going to get a little tricky trying to take the props down. I last night before I saw the Worthy thing, or yesterday, I was like, man, this could be a money-making game, right? These yardage totals, they're going to be a little lower. I think you could probably just take a lot of them with the Chiefs, get everybody at, 35, 40 yards, put them all together. Now it's like, well, now we got to watch this injury. We'll see about that. But just in general terms, I like the Chiefs' chances tonight. 3.5-point favorites at Jacksonville, Monday Night Football. We'll have more on the game with Josh Brisco in just a little bit. Let's look around the NFL from yesterday, TJ, before we switch gears to some college football. Another wild night. We can start with Sunday Night Football. Mentioned it briefly. The Bills go down. There was a point where we were very worried about the Chiefs and, becoming a wild card team. The Broncos knock off the Eagles. Not that matters to the Chiefs' playoff positioning, but it matters in the division. But the Chargers lose again. The momentum they had is being derailed by injuries again this year. They lose at home badly to Washington. They're now 3-2. The Broncos are 3-2, and the Chiefs tonight can move to 3-2. So all of a sudden, maybe the AFC West is very much in play. Now the Raiders look bad. So the Chiefs have a chance to still win this division. Now their schedule is again absolutely nightmarish, but with those injuries to the Chargers, I think the Chiefs are in play for sure. I think they're better than the Broncos, and kudos to the Broncos for beating Philadelphia yesterday. It was a great win for them. It's going to bite me in the butt. I just don't believe in Denver to the same level I think a lot of people do. I think Kansas City is better than Denver. I think the Chargers were the team to watch, but now with these injuries all over their offensive line, I don't know that they're going to be able to overcome that.
Yeah, I agree. That's what the AFC West has always been, I think. I think that Denver is just the team that can just go mess things up, but I don't think that they ever really had a chance to win the division. I think it was always the Chargers or the Chiefs if they could figure things out. And as you said, the Chargers keep sputtering with all these injuries. I didn't even see, what was that, 27-10, the Jaden Daniels play well in that game?
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah.
The reality is they're going to have a hard time without those offensive linemen, like any team would. I mean, you lose
They're
your
awesome
tackles.
offensive
It's just not. It's going to totally change the way that you play. And Washington finally got back healthier, so you tip your cap to Washington for that kind of a road win. But it's going to be tough for the Chargers. They're going to have to reinvent themselves. Like, how do you overcome that? Could you imagine any team in football right now? You're like, yeah, they're going to be down both their starting their left and right tackle. I mean, what would happen to the Chiefs?
Yeah, we saw it last year. We watched it last year.
That's basically, that's what we saw last year. And we all know the record was good, but they were a flawed team. So we go ahead.
To further your point here about this AFC race of where the playoffs and everything could stack up, I saw a tweet this morning about the Bills game last night, and somebody said, do the Bills play on the road ever? Like, they've played so many home games thus far. Like, I have to look at this, make sure this is true, because they have Yeah, 7 of their next 10 are road games for Buffalo because they played 1, 2, 3, 4 home games already through 5 weeks. And now they're about to play 7 of 10 on the road. So the Chiefs' schedule is going to be tough the rest of the way because the caliber of teams that they're playing. But Buffalo is going to be traveling all over the place. So the AFC could be just carnage this year. Like I don't know what the number is going to be, number of losses that could get that 1 seed.
Well, and you look at the Ravens, obviously without Lamar Jackson, are going to be in a world of trouble. I mean, they looked terrible yesterday at home against Houston. They got boat raced. They're 1-4. So if Lamar Jackson's back soon, they can absolutely go through a stretch where, they win all but 1 or 2 games. But if they don't get him back soon, it's going to be a problem. But that was a team maybe you think of the Colts, who looked really impressive again as that team. Remember, the Broncos should have beaten the Colts. I don't know it's still Buffalo. It's still Buffalo. Mm-hmm. And if we're trying to power rank and stack the teams, the Colts can do what they do well. I wouldn't sleep on them as far as a dangerous team or anything. But what are the chances they can run through it enough to only have let's call it 4 losses down the stretch to get something like home field? That'll be tough.
Yep.
The Chiefs, you think, can do, because we've seen it so many times from the Chiefs. The challenge for the Chiefs will be that the schedule is just so unforgiving. I mean, it is absolutely just a stupid schedule this year. So, can they really march through the rest of the way and only have 4 losses? Are we going to be talking about the 1 seed with 5 losses? Probably not. I think 4 is a pipe dream. And so Buffalo is still going to be the leader in the clubhouse on that, but they just lost a game. We kind of counted on them winning as far as they'll just roll through the division. And they lost it. And the the Patriots looked really good last night. And look, Patriots, you guys heard me on the Patriots were one of my, and I'm a huge Vrabel guy, but I thought the markets were way too early on the Patriots. But you can see them turning into a team that they want to be. And I don't know if they're going to hit their win total or not, but that was really impressive for them to go do that on the road. And you can't watch Drake May and not be impressed with Drake May.
Yeah,
dude's got stones.
We had that conversation last week whenever we were talking about I don't even know who the quarterback we were talking about. Well, Bo Nix, I think. No, who was it? Was it Bo Nix or Caleb Williams? And we were comparing that rookie class. I don't know who the quarterback was.
Yeah. They're all good. They all
and we said good. Drake May. We were like, what we've seen so far, he's shown the glimpses. I don't know if he's in the. I don't know if Drake May would be considered better than Bo Nix before last night. Now it's whoa, Drake May, primetime game.
You just have to when we have those conversations, you can't take you can't just say, oh well, he's had better stats. You have to just say, start the draft over who you taking. I'm taking Drake May over Bo Nix. Bo Nix looked good again. By the way, yesterday in that game against Philadelphia, Bo Nix had a really nice game. He looked really good. But, Jaden Daniels is in that class. Caleb Williams is starting to come into his own. Michael Penix is the biggest question probably, but he's definitely shown enough for you to be excited about him. There is a really good chance that all of them are good. JJ McCarthy is the big, but we still haven't even seen JJ McCarthy really play yet. So, and I really liked JJ McCarthy coming out, and he's in this great offense. We're so early in his, I don't even know how we make that call before the end of this season at the absolute earliest. But for these other guys who played significant time last year and are they all look really good. All of them.
Yeah. They do, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's gonna be an all-time, the 2003 NBA draft potential type of that.
The one we saw in the NFL was Rivers, Roethlisberger, and Eli Manning. And then before that, of course, you had the Marino class, which was incredible. But we've had, but maybe not 5 or 6 of them, which is what we're looking at in this class. This is legit.
To have every single one of them starting 1 year later. Playing pretty well for the most part of everybody that we've seen. That doesn't happen very much.
The Buccaneers get a big win yesterday. That was one of the headline games of the day. Bucks Seahawks. Bucks go on the road across the country, kick a field goal to win the game, 38-35. That was an impressive performance, I thought, from them. Arizona falls to Tennessee. You know what's funny? I didn't even realize Arizona lost to Tennessee until right this second. What on earth is going on with there? Arizona was up 21-6 in that game. That's why I didn't know that. I just sort of wrote that game. I was 21-6 in the first half. And Tennessee came back and won that game? I didn't even see that happen. What on earth? When did that happen? Anybody out there realize that Tennessee beat Arizona yesterday? Did anybody see that? Am I the only one here? Cam Ward must have had a great second half. They were getting crushed early in that game. It wasn't even close. Wow. I did not know that happened. That is wild. What a terrible outcome for Arizona at home to Tennessee. Goodness gracious.
Could get ugly. I saw the DeMarcado fumble or something of that nature. It was
I didn't
off
see
the rails late, I guess.
Idea. I had to go
I didn't watch any of this game.
This was one of the wildest dad weekends ever.
Yeah.
So I had to peel off for the second half of the second window games for soccer. So I missed that. I was keeping up with the Chargers game, Chargers Commanders. But other than that, I kind of was off of the games. I didn't even realize that happened. Holy smokes.
Cardinals now are going to go on the road to the Red Hot Colts. Then they host
crush them. Yeah.
Then they host the Packers. Then a bye week. This schedule's there's a real chance they could lose 5 or 6 straight.
Good luck if you ever bet the Cardinals. Boy, I missed a huge parlay win picking games yesterday on the Raiders. I liked the Raiders with all those points, and man, they just got smoked. That was disappointing. I was on a mega heater. Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football made a ton of money, and then yesterday was lukewarm. I did okay. I think I probably broke even yesterday. I'm hoping
I saw your guys' text about Jonathan Taylor. He had 3 touchdowns yesterday.
Yes, he did.
I'm never gonna win.
Yes, he did.
Freaking thing.
Jonathan Taylor, kick and tail. The Colts have something cooking here. They've got the recipe for something nice going right now, I think, in Indianapolis. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, let's begin to dig into the college football from the weekend as it pertains to KU, K-State. We'll dive into both. Don't go away. More Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
You can't count on much. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. It's about $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started. Today, we join you back here on Sports Daily. We're going to talk a little college football now, take you through KU, K-State, some of the other Big 12 action. We get ready for Josh Brisco in the second hour to dig deep into Chiefs tonight. Chiefs Jaguars in Jacksonville for Monday Night Football. We'll also look around the rest of the sports world. Some pretty wild stories over the weekend. But we look now to college football, and it was kind of vice versa last week of what we had. We had Kansas State losing one we feel like they should have won. Baylor scored 18 fourth quarter points to overcome a 2-touchdown fourth quarter deficit. They win 35-34. And Kansas goes on the road and beats UCF 27-20. Man, that would have been a really, really nice win for K-State, TJ, if they were able to get that done. They looked good offensively, 506 yards of offense. They did everything but win that game, basically.
Yeah, and it should have been a win, and it should have been sitting here saying, man, like, I mean, we'll play this hypothetical before we dig deeper into here. If the fourth quarter didn't happen, if the game ended at the end of the third and they won by 14 at Baylor, what would we be talking about today?
Can they win the Big 12?
Yeah, we'd be talking about they're back, baby. They're going to beat TCU this week.
Yeah, I mean that's what we would be having a discussion about. They can absolutely beat TCU. It's really like, to me, this becomes a question of, and even with 2 losses, like their wiggle room is almost gone. I don't know if it feels like 2 losses is going to be it, right, to get into that game. So this game decimated their wiggle room. They would have been ahead of Baylor in the standings. Like it's tough. It's a really, really tough loss. It's a major bummer. But at the end of the day, like if you were looking at this and we didn't have the concerns about the non-conference games that K-State's played, we'd be looking at it and saying, okay, they lost a neutral game to Iowa State and they lost a road game to Baylor. Okay. Like it's not, you have to, you have to take the non-con and pull it out of this, throw it in the trash can and forget it ever happened.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do with K-State. I think to get a proper, because the reality is they've looked much better the last 2 weeks. So now it becomes a question of, could K-State do something as absolutely unlikely as run the table in the Big 12? I doubt it. Is it possible? Like, I don't know that there's a game they're going to play where we look at it and we're like, yeah, they got no chance. So, the old coach cliche of one game at a time is obviously applying here. Like, big picture, it seems impossible, right? Big picture, it seems like, yeah, that's a crazy thing, and it probably is. But then in the small picture, if you said, well, can K-State beat TCU at home this weekend? Of course they can. Can they go on the road and beat Kansas? Of course they can. Can they beat Texas Tech at home? Texas Tech, I think, is the class of the league right now, but it's a home game. Can they go on the road to Stillwater and win? Of course they can. And then you're looking at Utah and Colorado. So, like, if you break it down and really laser focus in each individual game, it's not hard to find a K-State win in your possible outcomes. It just makes it devastating, this loss, because it's a game they 100% should have won, and it slipped away because of a late pick six.
It's just so, like, we've been saying it. This is the first game that K-State's actually been an underdog in. I mean, and it's not crazy to think about. I mean, down the stretch of this, I mean, there might be only 4 games that they're not going to be favorites in. And, like, are they going to win the games that they're favored in? I don't know. They haven't.
We don't know.
Like,
they'll be, what's the early, do we have the early line yet on TCU? I imagine they'll be a favorite.
Sure we do. I don't imagine that.
I bet it will. I will bet you that they'll end up a favorite over Kansas on the road. They may be home dogs against Tech. They'll absolutely be favored Oklahoma State. They probably will be dogs at Utah, and they'll be favored at home against Colorado. But none of these lines, I don't think one way or the other, are going to be more than like 7 points. They're all going to be tight. It's just those are the ones that kill you. Because if you end up with 3 or 4 losses, and you're like, God dang it, they could have got in if they didn't blow that one at Baylor. Now that's assuming that everything goes well, they continue to play well, and and Dylan Edwards can stay on the field and Jace Brown can stay on the field. Like, we're assuming way too much there. It really is one game at a time. But I think, generally speaking, for K-State fans, as nauseating as letting that one slip away is, we can at least feel better that they're playing well. Like, to me, this is a very different feeling than post-Army, where it was like, oh my God, they may not win a game. They're playing terrible. Now it's bad, at least.
Yeah, we got the early line. What do you think the number is?
K-State at home against TCU?
Yes.
K-State by 4.
TCU by 1.5.
Really? Okay. That's interesting. TCU's got a great quarterback.
It might flip. I don't know.
TCU's got a great quarterback, but TCU they've scored 11 more points than they've allowed this year. They're not a juggernaut.
Yeah. You want another early line that's going to blow your mind? KU, Texas Tech. What do you think that one is?
That's in conference, by the way, that number I just pulled for TCU. Say again.
KU at Tech. What's the number?
At Tech?
Yes.
9.
14.5. That's ginormous.
Tech has been crushing people. Tech is crushing.
I feel like by
people.
principle, we have to go take KU.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know that I'm comfortable with that because KU will be, but Tech's the thing that is it's not logical if you've watched Big 12 football for as long as we have, which is forever. Texas Tech's defense is outstanding. That's the thing that's leading them. Their defense is incredible this year. They've had quarterback injuries, and it's their defense that's been so smothering this year. 14 points. Holy smokes. I can't believe that. I'm gonna have to. I don't think I'm laying 14 with KU. There's no way. You'd have to take the points. I think you're right on that. But yeah, no. So K-State's point differential, and they've played one more game to be fair than TCU, but TCU is. Did you say TCU's favored on the road?
Yeah, 1.5.
Oh, give me K-State. Give me K-State there for sure.
It's a pick 'em, but that's gonna be a tough spot. Like TCU,
it's a tough spot. TCU's got a good quarterback, but a road game in the Big 12, like nah, I'm not doing that.
K-State's defense. This might be a shootout type of game.
It probably will be. Probably will be. But I thought they did a pretty good job on Baylor. There was the point kind of in the middle of the game, like the end of the halves, killed K-State. It like both times, like they just like it too easy for Baylor to go get what they needed at the end of halves. But that I thought like you got a pick six involved in that. Like there was K-State should have won that game. K-State should like more than Kansas should have beaten Cincinnati. Because that was not really a should have beaten Cincinnati as they just missed a play to win it. Yeah. K-State should have beaten Baylor, right? Like that. Does that make any sense? Like,
we need to talk to Fitz. Fitz had a good tweet about this that like they decided in the fourth quarter, like up 2 scores, to keep throwing the ball, and it's like if you didn't throw the ball and you just found your way and just tried to milk this thing out. But granted, the run game was not very good.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I don't know that I'm totally on board with that. They
I know,
run the
but
ball.
It's just. I don't know.
There's a lot of time left. There's a lot of time left.
Yeah. I don't know. They should have won the game, though. I mean,
K-State missed a game-winning field goal. It's not like they didn't have a chance.
Well, they got it blocked. Okay.
Baylor had a bomb, right? Yeah. Hit a long. I think that gets longest field goal ever, right?
Yeah.
And then K-State has one blocked. So like it's not like I don't know that I totally agree with that because it wasn't time to let up on Baylor and they couldn't run the ball.
It's hard to blow a 14-point lead. Like
it is hard. They had to throw a pick six, not just a pick, but a pick six.
Literally, I think if it wasn't a pick six, like if they just tackled the guy, they probably won the game.
Absolutely, yep.
Then they went for 2 and got it, didn't they?
Now look, this might not, but right, the 2-point conversion. This might not end up being as gut wrenching as it is now because K-State may not be in contention, right? And then we're not going to be as. But if they are, we're gonna look back at this one and be bummed.
I know. I've been doing my research here while you've been talking. I'm back to 2016, and I still haven't found a time that there'd been a team with more than 2 losses in the Big 12 championship.
Right. This is an even year, but like the BYU and Tech and Arizona State, Cincinnati, I don't think will run through. But thinking about BYU, Texas Tech, or Arizona State, two of those teams having 3 losses, it's probably like that. That's probably not going to happen. So now it's just finish the season strong, get a good taste in your mouth, and go into next year with an offense hopefully healthy and led by Avery Johnson and Dylan Edwards. I mean, that's what you're shooting for. KU. So that game was good. It was a good bounce back game, I thought. They didn't even look incredible offensively, and they won. And I don't like that they didn't look incredible offensively. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that they didn't and still went on the road and won, I do think is a really nice a really nice outcome considering last week. Like that was, I don't know if I want to say it was a game where the defense won it for them. I don't know that I'd say that, but when you consider what happened last week, I didn't expect even that much of a bounce back from the defense. So I think we can be pleased there. I am concerned that KU just cannot run the ball. I think that's going to be a problem for them because UCF sold out to stop Emmanuel Henderson Saturday, I thought, and it did hurt the KU offense a little bit.
Yeah, there's still its flaws and everything like that, but I mean the fact of as we said earlier, the run game doing something makes you smile a little bit, and then the fact that KU, I've got the game on right now watching it. KU's down double digits in the second quarter and was able to battle back on the road and do something of that nature as well. I think that's huge in Big 12 play. All these are going to matter. I don't know if they're good enough to be in contention for that down the stretch after the Cincinnati loss, but I mean. Right now, they've only got one loss on the Big 12 record.
I know. The Cincinnati loss and for them and this Baylor loss for K-State are going to be like they're probably not going to allow them to do it. But that doesn't. I don't know what you thought. I didn't have KU as some Big 12 title contender. This was the year KU turned everything over.
Yeah,
we didn't know what to think about KU. Like KU could have 3 or 4 losses. Be a really dynamic offense, playing a fun bowl game, and I absolutely think this will have been a wildly successful season.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say,
at the least, this shows that it's not just Leipold running with the group that's been there for the last 4 years.
It shows that Leipold is the man there. I could not. I'm so pleased with KU's season so far. Like the exact opposite of K-State. So disappointed in K-State's. So pleased with KU's. I mean, that's where we are. All right, we'll come back. We'll hit some of the other storylines from the weekend. Sanchez situation is weird. We got the baseball playoffs underway. We've got Josh Brisco in the next hour. Stick with us. We got plenty more Sports Daily coming your way.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Sports Daily. We got another hour coming for you. We're going to get a deep dive and get you ready for Monday Night Football. Our Chiefs insider, Josh Brisco, joins us next segment. Looking forward to that. We're going to get you through some of these other headlines as well. Maybe a glance into the Major League Baseball playoffs. It's all brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring a hot link sandwich, split, seared, served, and a split top bun with chips and a drink for only $9. Perfect for lunch. Hot link sandwich now available at Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. You a hot link guy, TJ?
I'm a big hot link guy. I can get down with some hot links.
I didn't know I was a hot link guy. I used to play a golf course back home, and a buddy and I we knew one of the like course guys who would sneak us on. Of course, we were broke as a joke, could have never, and so we'd sneak out there and play every turn, get a hot link. And I was like, oh man, I did not know I was a hot link guy until right now. And I am.
I think I'm more of like an Italian sausage guy than a hot link guy, but I can get down with the hot link. If you're if I'm getting a bun, I'm not much of a hot link guy.
No,
but if
I like them in a tortilla.
Tortilla?
Yeah. Yep. Oddly enough, I like a hot link in a tortilla.
Never heard that before, but I'm saying hot link when you're barbecuing. If you got barbecue sauce to put on it, that's the best hot link.
Yeah, I agree. Barbecue sauce is good. It's good with all kinds of things, but in a tortilla is my favorite breading with it. I'm fine with it without breading.
It's crazy.
So you said I'm a German sausage guy for sure. German sausage, except for a hot link. I'm in on hot link. I do like them. They're good. So get out to Wichita Brewing Company. Check that out.
We'll get our hot dog power rankings scheduled up for next week.
Ooh, boy, that would be
hot dog-esque bratwurst sausage hot link dog.
I will. That is a really, really complicated question because I would choose chili dog over just about anything. Like a good chili dog, right? Like a really good. When I was a teenager, that's what my mom would ask, like, what do you want for your birthday? So, quick aside, birthdays. Like, when was the last time you had a birthday party? Like, when did
For myself?
Like, when your parents. My wife is a birthday princess, birthday queen. Like the whole month, it's like it's never enough, and she'll go back and revisit these things. And I'm like, I don't think. As a kid, like, I don't think I had a birthday party after the age of, like, 10. I don't
Yeah,
think.
probably not. I
Like,
don't think
it was like my parents would be like, "Hey, do you wanna go out and eat or something?" Or, like, I didn't have birthday parties. I think
think
I
that
had one again at, like, 18 years old. My parents threw me a big birthday bash. And then now, like, we do things for a birthday. We're doing now more than when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's a big
I don't
deal.
I think
Okay.
the last time I remember having a birthday party, I probably was like 10, and I remember I told my parents I wanted to go up to the city park to the basketball courts and invite all my friends and have a one-on-one tournament. So we had birthday cake and candles and everything while we were sweaty playing one-on-one basketball uptown.
That's a good one. Yeah, so that's funny. Like, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one. She acts like I was some, like,
My
oppressed
wife,
child.
my wife's the same way. I mean, they go all out, like
the worst.
presents out the wazoo for birthdays. I'm like, man.
Which is never big enough. It's never a big enough event for a birthday.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's a birthday. Like, tell your friends to come meet you out somewhere and whatever. So when like, you brought up hot chili dog, like my mom would, like, and I'm like, make chili dogs. So she would have like homemade chili. You toast that bun, mustard, dill pickles, relish, and like, oh man, there's not much better than that. Yeah, man, it's just the best. All right. Did you see this Mark Sanchez story?
It's so weird.
It turned into this thing that, like,
I'll say what you're trying to say here because I can see the gears here. Is that you saw the headline and you're like, oh my gosh, Mark Sanchez got stabbed. Like, that sounds awful. It's like, what the heck's going on? And then it's just like, whoa, like, what the heck?
Well, it's not
going
even just
on?
that. Like, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Like, the circumstances, it is okay. Here's what drives me crazy about society at its current place in time. Mark Sanchez is stabbed and goes to the hospital. Okay. The proper reaction to that is, oh no, like, I hope he's okay. That's the proper reaction. Okay.
Correct.
That is an okay and acceptable reaction. So what happened is, you're trying to catch up on this, is like, I see that Mark Sanchez goes to the hospital. And again, this weekend was super crazy. So it took me a minute to get back around to it. And then by the time I look it up, all I see are people like trying to dunk on each other online. I'm like, what is happening? So apparently, I guess he got stabbed and people tried to make it a political statement about the violence in this country and how it's out of control. And then we find out maybe he was the instigator and was picking on an old man. And then you got the other side saying, see, it's not, violence isn't bad in this country. It's just Mark. And then there was, I'm like, hang on a minute, everybody. Like, let's all just take a step back here. Mark Sanchez got stabbed. It's okay for his former teams and the network he works for to send out prayers for his recovery. Like, that's okay. Even if he was being a jerk and started a fight, like, it's okay to still wish him well in his recovery. Then he's arrested at the hospital, and it's like, what happened here? And apparently he had a little too much and tried to pick a fight with a 69-year-old truck driver, it sounds like. And the truck driver pepper sprayed him, and that wasn't enough. So he stabbed him like 3 times in what the police call self-defense. Wild situation.
Crazy.
Mark Sanchez's career is probably done. Who knows all of the circumstances? And we will eventually. One eyewitness apparently said that they saw 2 people taking videos of each other. So I'm sure there's video of all of this. Like, what took it to this level? My goodness, all over a parking spot, I think. I contend that it is one of the wildest conditions of humanity, how angry we get when it comes to, like, road rage. Like, you want to talk about 0 to 100 on the anger scale. Does anything make you angrier faster than something to do with driving or your car or parking?
No kidding.
But good Lord, like, this, and then it turned into like a political thing. I'm like, what is happening here? Like, what? Like, let's just all take a step back. And it is okay to wish him well in a recovery if he was stabbed. And it is okay for him to go to jail if he tried to pick a fight with an old man. Like, it's okay for all of these things to happen. But can we just take a minute and not pretend like this is a
normal Saturday?
Like, God bless. So it's just weird to try and follow along with what in the world happened. Certainly his career is probably done. Look, then you get some good humor and you get the butt fumble stuff, and it's like, okay. Then we kind of came back around in those places that you can rely on to just sort of like, what a wild story. What a wild story.
I mean, like I'm saying, I mean, it turned into on my phone. It was like, oh my gosh, like Mark Sanchez got stabbed. That's crazy. And then it's like, you just kept reading, and it's just like, what?
It just kept going. Yeah, I agree. Kept going one on top of the other. So it sounds like he'll be fine from the stabbing, and now he's going to have to deal with the legal ramifications or whatever the hell happened there. Deion Sanders, I don't know if you saw this. He's got some issues with his health still. He thinks he apparently is still fighting blood clots, which is very serious. Yeah. So that's a frightening situation. Speaking of health stuff with former athletes that we'll have to keep an eye on. Poor Prime, man. Like, everyone thought he was just like a one and done at Colorado. Like, he's sticking it out. He's trying to do this right thing. And then his health has been scary.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know. You'd hope everything's going well, but I mean, it has been even before he got to Colorado with the toe thing and everything like that. So it's crazy to see that come from one of the greatest athletes ever too.
The Eagles and AJ Brown. Did you catch that missed throw?
Yeah, I saw that video,
which was Brown giving up on the play.
People were arguing about who was in the wrong there.
Everybody. AJ Brown it's kind of been a problem. I think they're going to figure this out. I think it's not ideal if you're an Eagles fan right now. I don't think there's any way. I guess so the report this morning is, or I guess this came out yesterday, is that teams have been calling about AJ Brown to like make a trade with the Eagles.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can do that if you're Philadelphia, can you? Even if this was a bad situation, what would you do right now if you traded AJ Brown? They don't have enough at wide receiver to trade AJ Brown.
I mean, the fact of the matter is though, is that they haven't used him and they got off to a pretty hot start to the season, so it's not like, I don't think that they're going to open up the playbook and start firing deep shots.
Do you recall a team that started 4-0 being as uncomfortable, like is having as many issues seemingly as they've had front facing at 4-0? Yes. It's a little weird, right?
Last year.
With who?
The Chiefs.
Oh, no. The Chiefs were getting lucky to win games, but at no point were we ever thinking the Chiefs are dysfunctional. Right? Like, dysfunctional? They didn't have locker room issues last year.
No, none of that. But you watch the games and you're like, I don't know how they're winning these.
Oh, that happens. That happens all the time. I'm not saying that. I mean, like, where it just seems like things are bad. Yeah. Like it's a bad situation. Like the Eagles feel like they've beaten good teams. Like they've beaten really good teams. They lost to the Broncos. So what? But it feels like you'd think they're 0-4 right now. The way that the narratives that are spinning around there. All right, Josh Brisco is going to join us. Let's get deep on this Chiefs game coming up next here on Sports Daily. Chiefs Jags tonight on Monday Night Football. We'll dig in when we return.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And we rejoin you here, Joshua Brisco of the Kansas City Chiefs Radio Network with us, our Chiefs Insider. You can follow along at JB Brisco, no E, on X. You can also follow along tonight as coverage begins with us at 6 o'clock over on the Chiefs Radio Network on KNSS. Josh, how are you this morning?
Good. I've got a whole Google Doc right behind my phone right now, making sure that I'm ready to go when you guys join us live tonight. I think it's going to be a fun one. We get a couple back-to-back spotlight games, standalone games. Nothing weird about that for this team, but happy to have enjoyed a weird day of football yesterday. Happy to have the Monday night game tonight.
I was going to say, what do you do on a Sunday when you're not, sitting in the studio doing all that stuff? What's it like just watching football?
Yesterday was great. I obviously I love doing all of the Chiefs game day stuff, and I've been doing some version of Chiefs game day stuff for many years now. And when there is an occasion, a bye week, a Monday night game, a Thursday night game, this year Friday night game, I will put the Red Zone channel on, and I will move very little. Yesterday, I even got a little bit of a head start on Hades 2, a video game that I've been waiting to come out for quite a while. So got a few reps in that during the morning game window. Then spent a lot of time with Scott Hansen.
It is the great way to watch a Sunday. What you need is a 2 TV setup, and you're not working for the Chiefs because you can go whichever game you need to highlight in, and then the red zone on the other. It's the ticket.
It's the best
ticket. All right. So the door is open. Buffalo falls last night. The Chargers fall yesterday. Denver comes up with a big win. I'd kind of like just taken the AFC West out of the frame of mind for a while, honestly, after the first couple of weeks. But man, it's right there. If they win tonight, they're right there. They're right back in, and I don't want to say in control, but kind of in control.
You could do I know it's a little bit of it doesn't quite make sense, but the control your own destiny sort of rule of thumb. Again, you can't control destiny, right? Destiny's uncontrolled. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cheat the phrase anyway. If the Chiefs just go on and win the rest of their games, the division's theirs. They do control it, right? Like, it is literally speaking, it's right there because you get a chance against the Chargers to get your tiebreaker back there. And then obviously plenty of games still to come against the Raiders and Broncos. So it's certainly not like, oh, well, just handle your business and win most of your games and you win the division. That's not quite where they're at because that's still vaguely the Chargers' angle right now. The Chargers started the season with 3 straight wins over AFC West teams. They got the head start, but that head start has been vanquished. Like, after an 0-2 Chiefs start and that 3-0 start for the Chargers, and the Broncos have been hanging around, if the Chiefs win tonight, you've got 3-2 teams in the AFC West. That seemed so unlikely after 3 weeks of football.
It is. It's going to be an interesting one tonight as well. Obviously, the news broke yesterday afternoon randomly that now Xavier Worthy's got an ankle thing going on. Do you know anything about that? What do you expect to see tonight?
I don't know anything firsthand. I did see a couple reports indicating it was swollen when he got off the plane. That's all probably the same stuff you guys have seen. Obviously, it's a huge deal. Now, again, questionable, and it's seeming like maybe it's swelling in altitude and flight, and I don't know what happened with the ankle in the first place. But if, knock on wood, fingers crossed, if that is actually minor, then great, and I'm happy. But, Chris Jones was briefly questionable last week as he then landed in for 30, 45 minutes before kickoff began. I certainly hope that it's very minor for Xavier Worthy because we've seen it. I don't need to be here to tell you guys how much of a difference he makes in the offense, what an impact he has on the field. We saw it against the Ravens, and I think we'll see it tonight against the Jags if he's ready to go.
So I think his impact is really interesting. His impact is massive, but even if he's limited, I don't think he's going to not play. But even if he's limited, I do also think the Ravens defense played a factor in his return being so seemingly impactful. I honestly, like, if Worthy's a little bit limited, I still really like the Chiefs tonight because I think it's just a good matchup. Like, this is not a strength on strength. It's a strength on weakness. The Chiefs throw the ball. The Jags defend the run really well, but they're not outstanding against the pass. And then on the flip side, the Chiefs, even though the numbers haven't told us that they are a better, run defense than pass defense, I think they're still a better defense than pass defense. And that's what the Jags like to do on offense. I think it's I think both sides of the ball favor the Chiefs in what they like to do and how they like to defend.
I do agree with that, and watching the like otherwise dead in the water Houston Texans put up 44 on Baltimore yesterday certainly isn't helping the argument that the Chiefs just got magically right and that the Ravens played no factor in that. In terms of the like strength versus weakness thing, I do think that's a good angle where you see how the Chiefs did successfully handle Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Etienne is a fascinating tweak on that theory because he's a different kind of runner. He does have the speed and the elusiveness, and I think the Chiefs' defense over the years, really, they've had success against Derrick Henry throughout Derrick Henry's career, really, even going back to that Titans AFC Championship game. They've had success asking their cornerbacks to hit like linebackers, asking their safeties to hit like linebackers. That's something that's been pretty consistent with Steve Spagnuolo and Dave Merritt. So you have your smaller guys playing bigger that way and dealing with the physical backs like Henry and Saquon. Etienne's a different animal that way. So if I think back, there was one specific play against the Ravens where it was the Ravens had it blocked up beautifully early in the game, first drive, I think. The Ravens had it blocked up beautifully, and Derrick Henry hit a hole, and it was a good hole, and Shamari Connor was about 8 yards on the other side of the hole, and it looked like an Oklahoma drill at that point. Like, everybody was just occupied. It was Derrick Henry versus Shamari Connor. Well, Connor came up, he hit Henry. It was a good game for Baltimore, but then Connor slows him down. Brian Cook comes in, and the play ends not much more damage. If Travis Etienne hits that hole, I think you're having a little bit of concern that he's making Shamari Connor miss as opposed to just taking that hit and then having time for everybody else to gang tackle around him. So that's the one gear with Jacksonville where I do think Etienne's really interesting. But I agree. I think the Chiefs don't need to run the ball more than they've already tried to. Just try to have some competence there and then let Mahomes in the passing game try to keep what they had going last week continuing this week. Defensively, I need the Jags to prove it to me again. Through the air, on the ground, whatever. That offense has been a little bit out of sorts, even though it seemed like they have some really good pieces. I can't really explain what's happening with Brian Thomas Jr. He had an amazing rookie season, and this year he has, I think, more incomplete targets than successful targets. It's been bizarre. It's a little bit of a weird matchup. The Jags have a lot to prove here, but I think if the Chiefs can just kind of hold them at arm's length, we could have not an easy Monday night. These games are never easy. The NFL proves that over and over and over again. But this is a game the Chiefs should win.
Josh, I'll ask you that, kind of play the devil's advocate here. It feels like that all of us, it seems like the path is there of how the Chiefs can win this game. I imagine the public money's all over the Chiefs and everything like that. But the Jags are 3-1, and nobody really knew if they were supposed to be 3-1 at this point. Like, what is it that they do well? What is the path that we could see the Chiefs have troubles tonight?
I mean, the most obvious answer to me is the way the Jags have been winning games this year, which is recording 3 or more turnovers every single week. Takeaways for the Jags defense. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I mean, again, they are in like historic standing in terms of how rare that is. The thing for the Chiefs is I just don't think they're turning the ball over 3 times. And look, maybe I say this and then you guys can clip it out tomorrow morning when there's a special teams turnover and one of the running backs loses the ball and then Patrick Mahomes has another pass batted into the air that's caught by a defender. Like, the Jags are legitimately opportunistic. They're fast. They move aggressively. They have the traits that you want for a defense like that. But the Chiefs' turnover of note this year is Travis Kelce bopping a ball up in week 2 and then that going the other direction. I just don't. This isn't a turnover-prone team that is constantly making turnover-worthy mistakes. They've made mistakes. You get your alignment penalties and a hold here or there, play calls that don't always add up the way you want them to, or missed execution on a run. They're not a perfect football team, but they're not a sloppy with a football organization through the years that Patrick Mahomes has been at the helm. So I think the Jags have to get their turnovers again today, and then maybe you do get one of those games from Brian Thomas Jr. where he just takes over. But I really like the Chiefs secondary right now. Maybe that's too big a test for Noel Williams at some point, and BTJ gets him a couple of times, but it's got to start with the turnovers. Again, it's the NFL and weird things happen, so I can't say like they won't win this game with less than 2 turnovers. But I think for like a logical path for the Jags to win, they've got to have at least 2.
So Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid both talked about that late in the week last week. and they brought up it's not that like they are forcing the turnovers. So, and we've seen that a lot this year in the NFL. Like I don't know what happened in the offseason, but it feels like that is more by design than ever before, where guys are punching the ball or doing whatever, selling out to force those turnovers. And it is it is that thing. So at least the Chiefs are hyper aware of that factor, because it does fit like the Chiefs feel like they've got to lose this game. I mean, it's everything favors them. So in style, points, Vegas, whatever. So it's got to be a concerted effort to not make mistakes. Are the Chiefs capable of that? I mean, they were capable last week, I think, of not making the mistakes from a penalty standpoint. They really cut that down. But can you stop a team from making those plays? I mean, especially if you're going to throw it as much as the Chiefs are going to throw it in this game.
Well, and that's one thing where the Chiefs have had a lot of batted passes this year. A lot of Mahomes throws getting hit at the line of scrimmage. And when those go up, again, you're a team like the Jags, it seems like they're really good at the tip drill. And to your point, they're very good at forcing the fumbles. I also, and I do think you're right that, like, if you think about where the NFL stands right now, it is so much more valuable to have a takeaway than to, wrangle something for a 3 or 4 yard gain. Right. Like playing a little more of that risk reward defensively where you can steal a possession, you just have to not give up a touchdown. I do think that makes a lot of sense. The Jags also did it against Bryce Young, mostly Jake Browning, CJ Stroud, and a Texans offense that did get right against Baltimore. And then the injured Brock Purdy 49ers quarterbacking mess that they had out there in week 4. So I think you can look to Patrick Mahomes and even on the ground, like Kareem Hunt, if you want. Isaiah Pacheco doesn't have like a fumbling problem, but I think about Kareem Hunt as just being like this steady force for 3 yards at a time and hopefully no fumbles in the backfield. You look to those guys and you ask them to be especially detailed today. The execution that they talk about on a weekly basis, it becomes a buzzword. It kind of mixes into the background sometimes, but this is when it matters, because when you are one step off on your route, this Jags team is a team that is willing and able to make you pay for that. So I don't know how it works in the coaching staff in terms of, like, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is taking any fewer risks today. I don't think anybody's getting gun shy. I think you have to play your game. But if you play it relatively cleanly, there's always room for a weird bounce. As my friend Nate Taylor says, it's a silly sport where the ball isn't round. Like, stuff happens with that egg-shaped ball. But ultimately, I think you just try to play a relatively clean game. You don't give the Jags freebies and you get out of there with a win. Now, again, that's far from me saying that if we were talking about Chiefs Raiders right now, which might seem like the safest game on the Chiefs schedule, I wouldn't be saying, yeah, just show up, walk off the bus and don't turn the ball over, because that's not enough. The Jags are too good for that. You mentioned they're 3-1, but I do think that some of the turnover stuff is a little bit of an outlier. And I think if they can't make you pay offensively, you're hopefully getting out of there with a win, even if you put up 24 points with the Chiefs.
Josh, one more from me. We've got the weird week this week where we're previewing Monday night and Sunday night in a 6-day span here. So Lions on Sunday Night Football, obviously a lot different team than the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you think about Sunday Night Football?
I mean, it's going to be fascinating, right? Like, Detroit's one of those teams that you do look at as having the Super Bowl caliber talent level in terms of the specific superstars that can raise your water level. Like, that was the Aiden Hutchinson experience against Baltimore. You start kind of unraveling all of that. They've had the Browns and Bengals these last 2 weeks, and obviously it ended up being kind of a weird game against Cincinnati yesterday, but not one that I feel like was ever actually in threat. I think Cincinnati scored a bunch of their points in the fourth quarter when it was relatively taken care of at that point. So their running game is obviously another test, which the Chiefs have survived so far. Again, we mentioned the Eagles and the Ravens running games earlier. Those were not what killed the Chiefs in either of those games. You have that attack again with Gibbs and Montgomery out of Detroit. I assume that's going to be option one. I assume that's going to be the story of the week, is how do you limit those runners? They do still have a really excellent group of pass catchers with a quarterback who's able to use those guys very wisely. So that's even before getting back to, again, like a guy who can take over the game as a pass rusher and a head coach that will chew your kneecaps off. I imagine that is going to be a blast, and that this conversation, man, we're going to talk next with 2 primetime games in the book. I'll tell you this. I think that there is every chance the next time we talk, the Chiefs are 500. And as I think I would have said week 1, 2, 3, if the Chiefs are 500 when Rashee Rice comes back, I'm okay with that. And the AFC West is still in play. Very, very
That's
real.
what I was just going to say. But if they're not, they're 2-4. So that tonight has to, like, they could be 4-2. That would be even better. But you got to get this one to make sure that you're through. Because after everything that's happened now, if they're not 500, that's going to feel like a disappointment. It's not going to be the end of the world, but it'll feel like a disappointment.
100%. And look, I mean, the goalposts just move as games get played. Before the season started, 3-3 for Rashee Rice would have felt okay. Not great, but okay. Well, they had a lot of good teams in the front there, so maybe they dropped 1 or 2 of those. Maybe they lost to Baltimore. What happened in week 1 in Brazil? But ultimately, yeah, to your point, like if they're 4-2 and Rashee Rice joins a 4-2 football team with wins over the Lions and the Jags and the Ravens, I think you have to look at them as like AFC favorites, arguably, to maybe side and side with Buffalo. And if they're 2-4 when Rashee Rice comes back, now you have your number 1 receiver again with basically no margin for error if you do want to stay in the mix for the top of the AFC and maybe even to win the AFC West. But again, it just seems like the whole season's going to go like this, where every week somebody loses a game you don't expect them to. And the Chiefs have to do what they did last year. Don't be the team that gets surprisingly upset every week. And if you do that, you'll be wearing another AFC West champions hat at the end of the year. The Chargers have failed on that these last 2 weeks. We'll see if the Chiefs do.
It'll be exciting. You guys will have it. Coverage begins again over on the Chiefs Radio Network. 6 o'clock tonight. Josh will get you ready for the game, and then Mitch will take over, and it'll be a lot of fun, as it always is. Chiefs, Jags. Follow along at JB Brisco. Josh, we appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, fellas. We'll talk again with 2 games in the book this time next week.
We're going to have a lot to cover. Hopefully this one is an afterthought, and we can focus in on the Lions. Appreciate that. There goes Josh. Man, this is I'm excited. I like these Monday Night Football games this year have been fun, TJ, and they're not always that way. But they've been good. And I would love to just see the Chiefs crush them. I'm trying to decide. I was so excited to like get all my bets ready and do all this stuff. And now this Worthy injury, the only thing that's derailed is like, how do I bet it now? Because I thought I had a real good feel for it, right? I'm gonna take this and this and this, and I just don't think that there's gonna be anything that comes out before the game that all of a sudden like reignites our confidence that Worthy will be 100%. Mm-hmm. So now I don't know what to do with the bets. That's about the only thing that's keeping me down here this morning.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about next Monday morning now. We're going to have Sunday Night Football, Chiefs game. You'll be live at K-Witch. I'll be at the Arrowhead till midnight. We're going to be exhausted next Monday morning.
It'll be an early turn. But we'll handle it. We're fine. It'll be fine. We'll just thanks to Prayer Fire Coffee. We'll keep it. We'll keep ourselves lit up with caffeine, I guess. All right, we'll come back. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story, clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody, here to Sports Daily. Thank you to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. All kinds of events happening this time of year at Crestview as we get weather challenges, and they're doing things to get the course back in order. Bourbon and Bites is one of those I'm going to be hopping into this week. Where they're going to bring in a local, I think, but a bourbon distributor. They're going to sample a few things, have some awesome appetizers. Got a couple of buddies. We're going to meet up there before Thursday night football, a little appetizer, because TJ has me working late on Sunday night. So I'm going to get in there and check that out, Bourbon and Bites. It's just one of a million different kinds of things that you can do at a place like Crestview. Great families there. If you're like me, that's a big part of it. So give them a call. Tell them we sent you here from Sports Daily. Ask them what kind of deals they might be running this time of year for membership and joining as well. Thanks to Crestview Country Club. All right, TJ, real quick, Major League Baseball. We are on to the divisional round. The Blue Jays with a commanding lead over the Yankees. They're big winners yesterday. Seattle kind of salvaged the series. They get to Tarek Skubal yesterday. They win it 3-2 on some late heroics. I'm kind of pulling for Seattle. I've found myself. The National League, the Dodgers and Brewers lead those series, and they get back in action tonight, although we'll all be watching the Chiefs. You there yet with baseball at all? You kind of to get it on yet? I think we're probably one round away from everybody kind of locking in, but these really are good matchups for the divisional round.
They are good matchups. These are just the as you said last week. These are the weekday turn the TV on what you're going to watch that night. So it's not taking the precedent over anything else right now. But I agree. I mean, Blue Jays Yankees is a ton of fun.
Well, who doesn't like seeing the Yankees get beat up, right?
Exactly. Brewers. Those NL series are awesome. Those are actually really a lot of fun. Brewers, Cubs, and Phillies, Dodgers. So they'll definitely have it on later in the week and everything like that. But tonight it's the 85 inchers turned on to Monday Night Football.
Can we find everybody? Let's do this. We're gonna do let's together collectively find everybody a Chiefs bet that we can all collectively root for. That's what I want to do here. So I felt really good about it. I felt good about everything, and I still might. Here's the other challenge. So I'll go a little inside baseball. So I'm in like a DraftKings contest, the old school where you put a lineup together, and I'm like 10 points behind. And I'll ask you this question. I'm like 10 points behind, and I know the other guy also has Xavier Worthy. I have Xavier Worthy, so I have to make a change there. Like I did the math last night, and I'm 99% sure Worthy is both of our last players. So if I've got to make up 10 points and I've got to play a guy, is it Hollywood? Is it Travis Hunter? Is it Tyquan Thornton? Those are basically the three options I've got. I have to play one of them instead of Worthy to try and score 10 more points. Right now, I'm leaning Hollywood.
10 more points than Worthy?
Yeah, 10 more points than Worthy. I know, it's a tall order. It's probably not going to happen. But it does beg the question, kind of tying it into us putting something together for the listeners here. If it's not Worthy tonight, who is it? Because if he's limited, who steps up, I think becomes the question as we look at this thing from a betting angle. I would tell everybody out there, like we'll come up with one of these here. Don't do anything until at least 6:30 until we get a full report. Because at that point, we're going to know like if Worthy's at least playing, right? Because we'll get that injury report, that initial inactives. If Worthy's like, they're going to make him inactive if he's really bad. My guess is he'll be okay because they expect him to be. But if it's not Worthy, who is it in this game? Because we all think it's going to be Worthy, right? Like everybody on the planet thinks it's going to be Worthy. So if it's not Worthy now in this Chiefs offense, who is the primary right now? I don't think you can count on Kelsey being the primary. He hasn't been that even before Worthy came back.
Yeah. I mean, I think that just begs the question of, it's probably just going to be what we saw before it was Worthy, where there's not going to be any major funneling to anybody. There's nobody that's going to really have, I mean, who had the best game while he was gone? It was probably Hollywood against, was it the Eagles?
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood was okay even last week. Thornton. That was the one thing that changed. Like with Worthy out, they clearly wanted to get a couple of shots a game down the field to Thornton. But I don't know that you can count on it. I would think it's Hollywood. So as we look at, because the other part is, and we just talked about this, we've talked about this a lot today. Even if Worthy was out, I still really like the Chiefs tonight. So who is it, though? Who steps up? I think Hollywood is the safe answer there because he's the most capable of being. We know Mahomes likes to pepper somebody with targets in a game. We know it. I mean, it's a story as old as time. He's done it forever. Is it Hollywood if it's not Worthy, I think is the question. Soon it's going to be Rice, and then it'll be Worthy if it's not Rice. And then we'll just keep working our way down the list. But right now it is kind of that game of who gets the majority of Mahomes' attention. We think it's going to be Worthy, but if he's limited, I don't know what to do with that when we're trying to put a bet together or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see if they do that. I do think that Worthy's going to play, though. I think that there'll be a lot. I mean, I think he's probably able to get double-digit targets still, probably, and that's probably the way that they'll go tonight. Because as you said, the Jags are probably going to let him throw the ball. So I'd say that we see him out there, and I'd say that he's going to get 10 targets. You like that number?
Not if he's limited. No, probably not. What did he have in the last game? Let's see. 10's probably a little rich.
I think he had 8. I think he had 5. He went 5 for 8.
So we saw Hollywood, I think, get one game with 10 targets. I think with all of them there, 10's probably shooting a little bit high as an expectation.
Okay. 8. Lower it.
I would say that 8 number is pretty good. Now, he could get more for sure. Like, if they don't prove they can stop him, Mahomes will target him 15 times.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Jags aren't dumb. Like, they're going to know they need to do that. So I would say, yeah, 8 targets, again, is probably pretty healthy for him. Then another, 6 for Hollywood, probably 4 for Thornton, another 6 or 7 for Kelsey. Brashard Smith might be a factor in this one. His props might be an interesting one to bet. So right now, like if you go to, I kind of like 50 yards as a benchmark. Xavier Worthy's kind of off the market right now until we see his health. But even if you went less, like what about putting together, I don't know, the Chiefs have been a little susceptible to tight ends. So how about a little sprinkle to like Brenton Strange? I don't think we're going to be able to get good enough numbers with Kelsey, but so Strange. Can we get a little Brashard Smith on that? Maybe how about one catch for Brashard Smith? Trying to think of this is how I put my bets together, TJ. Like I go through and I do that. So Worthy right now, I think the yardage is a little harder for Worthy than receptions. His straight over under on receptions is 4.5, which tells me I can probably get him at 3 and get relatively decent odds. So I would like that a little bit. So let's call it Brenton Strange, 20 yards or more. Let's call it Worthy, 3 or more receptions. I would see if Hollywood is also available at 3 or more. Not every book offers these. I think I like all of those. What else I like is Mahomes' yardage in general. Right now, his yardage is at like 250. He's averaging 234. So it's a little rich on that, but you could probably tease that down to some degree. I just don't think the Chiefs are going to move the ball on the ground at all. I think like Mahomes's yardage or his attempts would be a nice way to attack, but 250 is probably too high to just take like a straight over. You like 250?
I mean, I don't see any reason why it couldn't be the way that we're talking about.
It could be for sure. It just hasn't been all that often this year. It was last week when they were fully healthy.
I mean, if you were asking me to put it into parlay with 5 other things, I'm going to tease it down.
Yeah, you got it. Well, that's how I do it. So right now you can get 225. I'm a little more comfortable with that tease down. So then what else did we have there? We had receiving yards for Brenton Strange.
Too.
We're gonna put
I got it all right here on my computer for you. I got the odds for you already.
Okay. I'm going to put Travis Kelsey at 30 or more yards. Then we're going to go to receptions here. I got to find my receptions. Let's see if we can get Worthy at 3+ is too low. So we'll call it 4+. Hollywood's going to have to be at 4+. I've got one up to 375 plus 375 total right now. If I took Mahomes, Brenton Strange 20+, Kelsey 30+, Worthy and Marquise both at 4+. And of course I'm going to take the Chiefs to cover as a part of this. So I'll lay the 3.5. Let me get that one in there too. How are you feeling about this? You okay with this?
I forgot about this wrinkle. Rick Klein, our guys commented in here. It's going to rain tonight in Jacksonville. I forgot about that. I talked to you at work. I asked Ross
Is
Jansen
it windy?
about,
is it windy? That's all I need to know.
There's been severe thunderstorm warnings all weekend, and they expect some into tonight. Forgot about that. That can make everything a little weird. That can make everything. Let's call Ross Jansen really quick and get him on the show here, Rick.
Let's just pull up the Jacksonville weather forecast for the evening, because rain doesn't scare me. Wind scares me. Coastal flood advisory. That's probably not a good thing. All right, here we go. Here we go, Jacksonville. We expect the rain will be there most likely. Here's our hourly. What time are we kicking off there? Local time 79 degrees, 45% chance for rain.
8 o'clock local time.
Oh, that's right, 8 o'clock. So it goes. Oops, it goes down. I think. Man, that is a factor. Shoot, that don't rain on my parade here. Rain doesn't scare us, right? With this, rain doesn't scare us hardly at all. Wind is 10 miles an hour. 10 miles an hour and under usually is okay for quarterbacks and moving the ball. The Chiefs are quick strike. I like it. I've got plus 650 right now. Now, again, don't make this bet because we got to see if Worthy's healthy. Like, you can't really make it until later. But Mahomes 225, Strange 20 plus, Kelsey 30 plus. The 4 receptions for Worthy and Hollywood, and a Chiefs 2.5. I teased it down to get under the field goal. It's plus 650. Plus 650. I'm okay. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm just going to leave this in the old bet slip here. We're going to leave that in the bet slip. We're going to put it away for later because we got to see if Worthy's going to play. Worthy doesn't play. I don't know what to do with all this. I guess you could just take him out. I'm just got him at 4 receptions, and then everyone else's chances go up, but their odds are going to go down. That's the bet. That's the bet tonight. Let's ride together, everybody. Let's make some money. Let's make some money. Chiefs football tonight. It's also, by the way, right here on KFH. If you want the Westwood 1 coverage, that also begins at 6 o'clock.
Do we have KNSS and KFH tonight?
We do. We have 2 ways to listen to the game, the Chiefs Radio Network or the national broadcast. All right, we'll come back. We'll wrap up Sports Daily for this hour. We got more coming your way. Don't go away.